So, hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tosin Oduwole with the Daily Hustle web series, and I have a wonderful special guest, a brother I've known for a few years, Percy Jones out of Pennsylvania. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Not much, man. Thanks for having me. How are you?
I'm great, man. I'm great. It's a little cold here in Georgia, but
Okay.
hopefully it's gonna be warming up soon. Happy New Year as well. I don't think I was able to tell you that yet.
Same to you.
And so yeah, really just want to just hop into it and just kind of get to know you, man. Get to know where you come from, what the last 10, 15, 20 years of your life has been like. That's kind of got you to where you're at now and kind of where you see yourself going. So
Okay.
I mean, if you can start off by just tell us a little bit about yourself and what your background is.
Okay, cool. So as Tosin said, Percy Jones from Norristown, PA, about 20, 30 minutes outside Philadelphia. I would call myself a more of a jack of a lot of trades, entrepreneur. My background resume wise is do a lot of social work. Uh, just got done running a fatherhood program in Philadelphia called Project Dad. We help non-custodial fathers get back in their children's lives. So that's my 9 to 5 work, more social work. But entrepreneur-wise, I've had a cleaning company for 3 years. I was cleaning commercial buildings. Jumped into real estate a couple years back. Uh, Always try to pick up something to be able to bring in some money, outside of the traditional 9 to 5.
Definitely. So I kind of want to go back to the social work, right?
Mm-hmm.
My mom, been in the social work industry for a long time. She
Mm-hmm.
started as a substitute teacher back when I was a kid.
Okay.
And then she started a nursing home for mentally challenged adults, right? So the type of individual personality, because social work is it's a very people business, and it takes a lot of concern and care and things of that nature. So what made you kind of hop into that direction, into that lane? Was it like a personal experience, or you just had a love for people or something?
I would say, like my mother. Growing up, my mother had a daycare.
Okay.
From as long as I can remember, maybe 8, 9 years old, we had a daycare. She ran it out of the house, but I just always saw how she was a giving, caring person. So right after I used to work at T-Mobile sales, I like to make my own paycheck. It just kind of bumped into me. I was the local guy that was always helping out the younger boys coming up. So started working with a company called Devro. I started seeing a lot of the things. A lot of the boys there, coming from inner cities, don't have a positive role model.
Yeah.
Father's not around, uncles, etc. So started working with those boys like 10 to 18.
Okay.
And then I was seeing they just wanted someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Wanted someone that cared, that showed interest. So when I started working in that field, it just went from one job to another job. And I've been doing it since like 08, 09.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's about 11, 12 years. So what you mentioned that 10 to 18 age range, to me, that's a very, very important age range, because that's when
Sure.
you're kind of like developing like who you're going to be, or certain principles you have, or just kind of like the ways that you live by. So like, as far as your conversation, your interaction with the kids in that age range, what did you think was like, I guess, their most pressing thing? I know you say like they just didn't want somebody to talk to, but was it things that they need as far as guidance and things, or having a big brother figure, help with school?
Mhm.
What type of interaction was that like?
I would say it was more of a guidance and really showing that you cared. A lot of times growing up in inner cities, you got big homies that may not be on the right path.
Yeah.
So them showing you they care is just by throwing some money at you. Saying do this, I'll give you that, or you want to wear the flyest thing, we'll do that. More of listening, but showing as well, not just talking at them. A lot of times as men, boys, we're talked at.
Yeah.
Do this, do this, do that. There's really no one really showing us the steps on how to do it.
Yeah.
That's more the lane I took.
Okay. So as far as in that, so you've been in for about 11, 12 years. So I would assume some of those kids that you worked with then are older now, maybe 21, 22 now.
Sure,
So have
sure.
you like kind of keep in touch with them and kind of see like where they're at now, or?
Absolutely. The power of social media, man. You know, phone numbers changing all throughout the years. But I mean, I see some kids from Devereaux who friend request me on Facebook. You know, thanks a lot, Mr. Jones. Or thanks a lot, Jones. You know, you did this on this day,
Yeah.
and I still go by it. And it's like, wow, it's just me being natural, just
Yeah.
talking to you what I want to tell my little brothers. Here you are telling me I made a difference in your life. It's like, you know, that feeling is it's a great feeling, man.
That's dope. So switching over to like the entrepreneurship, what was like, I guess, the catalyst that made you want to kind of add that into your repertoire of things that you do?
Growing up, my aunt Bridget was always in real estate. Uh, she had the flyest house, flyest cars, and always worked on her own schedule. You
Mm-hmm.
know, she would take me and my little cousins on vacations and planes where my mom wasn't able to take me.
Yeah.
And I always used to just watch and listen and ask her questions. You know, like ask my cousin, she's like, "How are we doing this?" And as I got older, I'm like, "Yo, she has 8 properties, and then she has 16 properties, and you know, she bought the Range Rover." I'm like, "Whoa, okay, like this is what I want." One of my biggest fears, Tosin, was growing up. You know, go to TJ Maxx and my mom put something on layaway.
Yeah, yeah,
My
yeah.
biggest fear was if I want something, I want to be able to get it when I want to be able to get it.
Yeah.
You know, my biggest fear is going out somewhere and my car not working.
Yeah.
So that made me work.
If you're in mine, I'd be like, ooh, I hope it's a couple dollars this month. Yeah. Okay. Dope, dope. So as far as real estate, like, or like, how did you get your start? Was it wholesaling or was it buying a duplex? Because there's like a whole bunch of ways, like
Right.
beginner entry doors in. I've heard a million of them. Just depending on the person, different strokes for different folks. So like, which one was like your kind of way into, making your bones in there?
So one of my mentors' name is Bill Wilson. He's one of my best friend's father. So my best friend moved to Dallas, Texas, like 8 years ago. So when he left, me and his dad just, got cooler. He literally called me up one day, Tosin. I was at the football field. He said, "Hey, I'm going to the auction Thursday. How much money you got?" I was like, "Huh?" He was like, "I'm about to go buy some properties. You want to get in? You say you want to know the game." I said, "Cool, I got 10. Come get 10 from me."
Dope.
He literally came to the field. I gave him 10. We bought a duplex. It was 16,000. We didn't see it. We actually climbed in the window and unlocked the door, and that's how we got started.
Oh,
I did a joint deal with him, and I think anything that could have went wrong probably went wrong.
yeah.
But I'm happy it did because I got to learn everything, on my first deal actually.
Yeah. So the things that went wrong, what do you so like you guys? So obviously you bought sight unseen. So when you actually climbed through that window and you got in there, you was like, "Oh snap! This is a big job."
So to me, I thought it was actually worse than what it was.
Yeah.
This is just for me not knowing.
Gotcha.
It was stuff everywhere, clothes, furniture. Rather we gutted it all out. We got it at 16, we were all in at like 43,000, like total.
Okay. Okay.
And then we sold it for about 115.
Okay.
But the problems was I don't know the correct term, but we bought it from an auction. We wanted to sell it within a year, but we needed the previous owner to sign off on a document somehow. So I'm on Facebook trying to Google this person to find them.
Yeah.
It was a married couple that split, so it was in the wife's name. So I found the husband. He put me in contact with the wife, but she wouldn't meet up with us. Every time she's supposed to sign off, she wouldn't meet up.
Yeah.
So that took like an extra 3 months. We had a fire escape coming from the second floor duplex.
Mhm.
The municipality had us keep having our contractors come out and do it over and do it over. That took like an extra 8 weeks. We were supposed to sell it for 125. For some reason, I got appraised on like, let's say the first of the month. They came back out the 15th of the month to appraise it again. And the price went down from 115 to like 112.
Mm.
And I didn't understand how that worked. I'm like, how does something change in 2 weeks?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, just those little things happen, but I mean, at the end of the day, it was well worth it, and that's what got me in the game of real estate.
Got you. So you said you guys purchased it for 16. You were all in like 42, 43. For those that don't really know like the terms and the all in, what was the all in? Like after the 16, what's the other all in, and what's that whole process like?
Right. So materials, contractors, anything that you got to pay the municipality. Like I live in Norristown.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Norristown, PA. It's always something. It's not an easy process. So uh, people coming out and assessing the property, saying they come out to give you the docket sheet, everything you got to do, and you do it, and they say, oh no, well you got to change that outlet there, or you got to change that light there. It was my first deal. I'm thinking it's going to be like boom, boom, boom. It wasn't.
Sounds like Newark, New Jersey to me. I had a similar situation. It was like I did everything you guys asked me to do. I believe it was when I was getting some architectural plans drawn up for a duplex new construction. And then when I submitted them to the zoning department to get approved, took them like 3 months. They kept having me do revisions to the plans. And I was kind of confused because like, look, you guys told me these certain parameters, gave it to my architect, and they made it exactly specifically to what you asked. And then when I came in to get the approval, then they say, oh no, you got to change it. Now the whole front of the building has to be 30% glass because there's like a new, I don't know, there's like a new zoning or building codes or something like that. And I'm like, how quickly did y'all decide on that? Like when that happened? Yeah, I definitely understand that. You spoke earlier about mentors. I believe you said his name was Bill Wilson.
Yes.
So how important was having either a mentor or if not a mentor, somebody who you could watch and get, kind of examples of how things are supposed to be? Was it more that you were able to learn from watching other people, from learning from other people, or learning on your own trial and error?
I would say definitely trial and error, I think, is the best teacher. I think you can watch 1,000 videos, you can have people talking at you, but until you actually jump in something and do it, it's not the same.
Yeah.
On days when I was like, this is really going to work, I wanted to give up. I had him in my ear like, no, listen, keep pushing, trust me, it's going to work.
Yeah.
But if I never gave him that money that day at the football field, I don't know if I wouldn't have jumped in as soon as I did. And I've been wanting to jump in the game since my aunt was doing it, forever. I never did it. And I had an aunt that was in it doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of it is kind of just having somebody that can kind of, break you into it. Sometimes it's scary to do things on your own. I mean, we do a lot of things on our own, but when it comes to real estate, that for some reason, it's magnified as a bigger step than other things, and so sometimes it can be kind of intimidating for people when you're new. I know when I first started, I knew I needed to find somebody that could help me or that could give me some information. So I started by just going on Craigslist, looking in the real estate housing section, and all the people that were selling properties or all the companies that were, giving out like hard money loans or whatever. I would just send them emails or call them and just ask them to like tell me about what they do. Like, how do you finance this? How would I get money from you if I wanted to buy a duplex? And did that for probably like all of like 2013. So I really just had a pretty good idea of how it was supposed to be done. And so it was just now to go out and try it. And so yeah, that's similar to how I learned as well. So do you believe in like mentorship or coaching for a fee? Or do you believe more in let's just do this together type stuff?
Right. That's a good question. That seems to be, the new topic going on a lot, especially, I'm on Clubhouse, like I know you are. That seems to be the topic. I think it should be done. If, I met you, organically, and I met up with you in Atlanta a few weeks ago. And I asked you about, your affiliate program, and you dropped some knowledge on me, but I know you. If I don't know you and we have no relationship, to stop Tosin from going about his day to day just to drop game on me for nothing, it doesn't work that way. So now the price tag on how that comes about, I can't comment on that because I can't say someone's value should be lower as their value. Right, so I understand it. I think to be where you want to be, you have to pay.
Yeah.
It's going to cost.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a case by case. I always say like give, teach. Sometimes you make people pay, sometimes you don't. You just feel it out, and just depending on your time at that moment, your time can be different. In 2018, 2019, I was really, really, really busy, and I couldn't, maybe necessarily mentor somebody if it wasn't for a fee. I just didn't have the time. 2020, that was one of the best years, like the freest years for me and having more time and also financially. And I was just dropping knowledge to anybody for nothing, you know, stranger or no stranger. So I think it also just depends on like where you are at in your life too. You know, like, sometimes things change, you know, but yeah, I mean, I was thinking about that because I kept telling myself, I was like, do I want to re-release another coaching thing and charge people? And I was just like, I don't really think I'm feeling that anymore. You know, it's kind of like I'll gauge like what their seriousness is.
Right.
So if I really see that you're actually out there trying to work and hustle and you're gonna get this done whether I help you or not, okay, cool. Let me see what I can do to add to your story. Right. But if you're just, you know, just trying to pick my brain, which is like the it's a very popular term now. Let me pick your brain. And it's like, so what you gonna do with my brain after you finish picking?
Right.
So yeah. So like, what do you see yourself doing in the horizon, man? Are you going to maybe sometime like maybe open up your own group or nonprofit to continue in the social work lane alongside the entrepreneurship, or are you going to lean more towards entrepreneurship, or what do you kind of see like the next 5-10 years looking like?
So what I want to do is I want to open up a program where I'm from here in Norristown. So our grant that I was running, the fatherhood program, it was a 5-year grant. It ran out. So now me and a couple of friends are working on a different kind of grant, still in the realm of fatherhood. Because I know fatherhood is important. So I just want to stay on the lane of getting fathers back engaged with their children. You know, regardless of what happened with them and the co-parent, get them back in the lives of their children. And there's a lot of dollars out there with the government, you know, in doing that. So one of my goals is to open up another one, and do it. I mean, we were in the city of Philadelphia. It was perfect, you know, transportation, job, employment. I mean, we had all the things right there, and we were well known. So it's like now it's nothing. There's other programs like that in Philly, but out of 90 programs in the country, we were top 3.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, you know, our community of Philadelphia is missing that.
Okay. So with the grants, so I've heard about grants for years. I've Googled them here and there. Never really understood what the grant process was like. My entire entrepreneurial career, I've probably gotten one grant.
Okay.
So how do you get your grants? Do you hire a grant writer? Do you just got the secret sauce? You just know, know who to talk to, or like what's the process like? And how do you find grants for something specific like a social work program or, you know, a nonprofit that's going to be helping teenage boys 10 to 18, et cetera?
So I don't know the secret sauce. One of my best friends, Kirk Barry, he's been in that field for about 12 years. So he knows everybody from top to bottom. He knows the grant writers. He knows how to do the proposals. That's his lane.
Okay.
You know, so that's all his lane. My lane is the actual get in there, make it happen, implement it, get my feet on the ground. His lane is the phone calls, the meetings, showing up, making it happen.
So you would say kind of being able to partner and do things with the right people makes things easier because everybody has strengths and weaknesses.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Cool. That's dope. That's super dope, man. I was in Norristown. I think the first time I met you was in person was in Norristown years ago, man. I want to say like 2015. It was some event. I can't remember what it was. I think it was real estate related.
I know we had a cigar event at our spot, Cigar Mojo in King of Prussia.
Probably wasn't that. I think that may have been later in the day, evening. Actual event because I drove out from Jersey. It was at like a multi-purpose hall. It was during the day. It was It was like 1-ish, 2-ish when I got there.
Was that our banquet? I know you came out to our awards banquet.
It may have been the banquet. Yeah.
Because we were all dressed up. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
It was our. I'm a part of a nonprofit called Norristown Men of Excellence, and we have a community awards banquet every December, where, you know, small time people, not small time, but, you know, on the surface, they're not all known. We like to give back to our community, so we give out about 7 awards every year.
Okay.
And you came down because, you know, we had Jay speaking, and you came out.
Yeah. So how do you like identify these people? You just look at who's doing something in the community that's positive, that's not selfish, and you reach out to them and say, hey, or like, do you watch them for some time, or do you just kind of ask around and say, yo, who's out here that's doing some very selfless things?
So pretty much, Norristown is a suburb outside of Philadelphia. It's not that big, so pretty much you know what's going on. Like everybody knows everybody type town.
Small hood, small
And
hood.
not saying that I'm this big person, but I'm well known in Norristown. And so is the other guys. So bless you. And often, we'll just put up on Facebook, ask a couple questions, take surveys, but for the most part, we know and see what's going on.
That's what's up, man. So kind of really just staying in tune with the community and the people, and kind of being out there and about, man. I think that's very important. Social presence on online is great, but what's really important is being able to touch and feel the people in real time.
Absolutely.
And that is really the secret sauce to building something great, man. But hey, Percy, man, I appreciate you joining.
No problem, man. Thank you.
But this video is gonna be a big file. It's gonna take up too much time on my computer. Hey, it's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure talking to you, man. Thank you for spending some time with me. And yeah, man, this is gonna be on the Daily Hustle, and I gotta come out there sometime, either on your next project or whatever you got going on, and when we do the Daily Hustle in the streets version,
gotcha.
Follow you around for a day and just see what you do, So
cool.
That.
Appreciate it, man. And I'll see you next Saturday.
All right, cool. Sounds good, man. Take care.
All right. Take care. Peace.